So I'm in a stone age because I made a table out of stone. Right, let's try and find the price because this is really being annoying. Okay, so on the 5th of April, which should be today, this being introduced, which is behind me, you can see it. Should we just sit it like that? It's the Canyon Spectral On, CFR Limited, so that means it's the full carbon frame. I've lost my voice. When you're a YouTuber, that's not very helpful. This bike is probably very unique. Let's get straight to the point. It's got a 900 watt-hour battery, 900 watts. This weighs 4.5 kilos or 4.3. That means it's about the same weight as the 750 watt-hour battery from Bosch. Canyon battery. However, if you look very close, like super close, go really here, you see a Shimano Steps service. So that means Canyon have created a bike with an enormous battery. It's serviced by Shimano, so with full global Shimano assistance. Shimano EP8 motor, 250 watts, 25 kilometers an hour, 30 miles an hour, or 32 kilometers an hour, 20 miles an hour if you're in America. I was looking for some water, but oh, look, there's a bike bottle and got some water in it. Do you think it's good? I don't know, maybe it's not. I've lost my voice, so I need water. How many of you drink your bike bottle water anyway, even if it's been on the bike for maybe a week? Probably we're all guilty of it, but yeah, it's all right. Tell you how that goes later. We can see the build. This is the top, not the top of the range one. This is the second one down. There's one slightly above with a SRAM kit. This has got the full Shimano kit. XTR brakes, XTR shifting, Fox transfer seat post, Fox 36 factory fork, Fox X EMTB tuned Floatex. I was pretty shocked actually when I got this bike. They've given it to me a whole month before the release date, so I can work with it and just, I don't know, play, have fun. I've done about 500 kilometers on it so far. Okay, it's a full redesign. They've reintegrated everything, rebuilt the whole thing. You'll see in the little clips of how the battery goes in and out. They got integrated cable builds. It's cables for e-bikes because normally you get a huge problem trying to repass cables around the motor. You have to remove the motor. However, they've solved that with this. They've got these cable runs, which are carbon integrated tubes inside. As you probably, the eagle-eyed of you will notice, it's got a 27.5 inch rear wheel and a 29er on the front, so it's a mullet. Mullet comes from the hair, you know, the people with the short hair at the front, long at the back. I don't know who's got that kind of hair anymore, but I've been testing all these bikes for like 10 years now, and honestly, I prefer 27.5 front and rear because I like the playful nature of them. 29er bikes, I like them because I ride them, but I prefer. This is a great compromise, and look, there's a cat. And I think we can say now, all three styles work. 27.5 works, mullet works, 29er works. They just ride a bit differently. And what's the best? Well, personal opinion, honestly. This is a compromise, probably more about marketing. All the brands are doing this now, so it's not just Canyon. It's hard to sort of convince everyone that their bike and their product is the best. However, Canyon have done a really good job here. Product rides brilliantly. It's really well designed. Battery slides in underneath. They've got a custom cover. Integration is basically perfect. Down tube's not too crunchy, too big. Shifting system from Shimano, all the controls, all the displays, you'll see that in the over clips. This 900 watt-hour battery, which I immediately started speaking about and showed you straight away. On the S size, you get the 720. You can also buy the 720 or specify it on the big size. It adds about that much more in size, and they all go in the same frame, which is good. Canyon have tried to simplify the connection, so they're using a Rosenberger connection to connect the battery. That's that. You see there, that's a Rosenberger. That's a Rosenberger. The power button is on the battery, but you access it through an electronic-looking switch on the main down tube. We wanted to remove any risk of connection problems with extra cable plugs, so the switch directly presses, so it removes any extra physical connections or cable connections, and it works with both batteries. Pretty good, I have to say. That's a very clever little design feature. The battery itself is actually quite lightweight and 900 watt hours. So, I mean, I could go into all the specifics in a minute detail, geometry and everything. Let's just say it's fast, the geometry is good. It's a good all-round geometry, all mountain. You can do some light enduro stuff. If you want an enduro bike, I would go for the Torque On. If you want all mountain trail stuff, this is brilliant. Definitely worth that from a geometry point of view, how it rides. Because it's got quite a low bottom bracket, you've got to pay attention to pedal strikes, but that varies across bikes. Some bikes have that tendency, sometimes don't. But the payoff is you get better high-speed stability in corners because your weight's lower. So, I don't know, make your mind up about that. Pedaling uphill, the power of the motor is brilliant. This EP8 motor is dead silent. No clicks, no clacks, no rattles on the descents. I think Shimano fixed it. I mean, this honestly is, I would say it's a bike which will set the standard of maximum. Like, honestly, we don't need more than 900 watt hours. I mean, other companies give it to you with 2 batteries or extenders, but I mean, now it's totally unnecessary. Honestly, 900 watts is brilliant. The finish is perfect. They have created, really, in my opinion, a sort of line in the sand. Is anything more necessary than what this is? Probably not. This bike, in my opinion, is like the Specialized Turbo Levo in the sense that it's got some similar design features, thought about really well though. They've improved on some points. Like their bottle cage design is really good. They've changed the style so it bolts in below and here, so they can shift it in, they can make space for it easy. It doesn't need to be a standard bottle thing, which is brilliant. They got silencing bits of rubber all over the frame, like many companies, here, so dead silent on the descents. Price, let's talk about price straight in there. It's about 11 grand, this, so that's a lot. Buy them 5th of May, or pre-order them the 5th of April, or launch the 5th of April, buy them the 5th of May. Something like that. You'll be able to buy all of them immediately, so that's a good thing. In Europe and in America, they're becoming a little bit later. Top models first, followed by the lower models later, but it's going to be a global launch, a proper one, so that's good. Another thing I forgot to mention, carbon wheels, this one. Reynolds carbon wheels, very nice, really like them. The Shimano shifting, the XTR, thank goodness, a top of the range bike with XTR, not XT. It works much better than XT. If you see a bike that's worth more than 10 grand and it hasn't got XTR or the X01, don't buy it. Why are you buying a bike with XT on it? It's just, they're shortchanging you, definitely. That company will be shortchanging you. This is not shortchanging you. Anyway, so this is the L size. I've been testing the L size, which for a 1.83 m or 6-foot rider is pretty perfect. The geometry's good, you're not too stretched out, you're not too upright, you're sort of in a really comfortable position. Super appealing to every kind of rider, in my opinion. You can do enduro roading, but you need a better skill level. At that point, you need to have probably some better riding skills because the bike is so quick and sensitive that you've got to be on it, especially with the carbon wheels. Now, I honestly think carbon wheels on the back, probably unnecessary on an e-bike. On a normal bike, traditional bike, I think, yeah, carbon wheels makes sense front and rear. On the front, however, good idea. Carbon on the front, very precise control. You can feel the difference. Do we need more than 900 watt hours? With the current technology today, I don't think we do. I think we've reached the limit of what's necessary. So what does 900 watt hours mean? Well, with my weight, I'm about 90 kilos, 91 with all my gear on. I reckon I can do about 4 hours of riding, turbo, in trail turbo, and I'm exhausted. I'm going to do another video where we just see how far can I go, what can I really do with 900 watts. And I'm going to go to the local park and just go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down all day. And I reckon I'm going to exhaust myself before the battery is empty. Because based on what I've experienced so far, changes your behaviour a bit. You don't need to keep charging the bike. I normally do a ride, don't charge the battery, and then a few days later go and do another ride. And that's quite impressive. Never thought I'd ever have to do that, because normally it's like, is my battery charged enough? So I have even managed to get 3 rides out of 1 battery. Just 3 casual post-work rides or lunchtime rides, and yeah, I got that out of it, which is pretty cool. And such a good job with geometry that you can't actually really feel the weight of the battery. I wouldn't know if I had a 700 watt or a 900 watt hour battery. They've done so well. They've managed that low weight because it's 22.5 kilos, 23 kilos with the pedals, which is amazingly good weight for this bike. I mean, they've done such a good job. I mean, wow, Canyon, how did you manage that? Those designers have been working hard. Covered. I mean, if you want to talk about riding, I mean, it depends on your riding style, but yes, corners, jumps, rocky, rough. This does everything really well. It's really a middle of the range performing bike. So it's not an enduro bike. It's not going to charge through rocks at 100 kilometers an hour and you're going to never feel a thing. And it's not a cross country bike where you're going to be like, oh my God, risking your life through the rocks. It's smack in the middle, amazingly easy and smooth to ride on most trail conditions. When you get to difficult conditions, the 29er helps on the front. Sharp corners, yes, the mullet setup definitely helps. Can you feel it? It depends on your bike skill level. I think that's it really. I don't really know what else to say. If you want to know anything more, write a comment and I'll respond. Worth knowing, this is not paid for, this test. There's only a few of us out there who aren't paid to review bikes when we review them. So there we go. So hopefully that means something to you guys, because I don't want it to be that you think that I'm paid to say this is an amazing, interesting product, because it is. I genuinely think it is. I think Canyon have done an amazing bike, and I think there's 2 products out there in the top 5 products in my mind that stand out at the moment, and that is this and Specialized. Specialized, obviously a bit more expensive, different system, but this, from an engineering point of view and a quality point of view, is up there with a solid line in the sand for everybody else to follow. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and I'm sorry for the voice, but that's the way it is. And yeah, see you on the next test.
She was just a girl.